All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So the Jets training camp practice just wrapped up for the day. But before we dive into the practice, I did want to mention that tomorrow Zach Wilson is going to be getting the knee surgery. Flew out to LA. It's going to be done tomorrow. And there's small reports out there saying that Zach isn't completely out of the hole yet. There's still a chance that doctors could find something. Maybe there's a setback once they actually go in there. And of course, as we all know, right now it's a 2 to 4 week injury. I would assume it's probably, on the back half of that. So maybe 3 to 4 weeks is like a realistic time frame. But even then, once that 4 weeks is up, if Zach Wilson isn't 100% ready to go, or, God forbid there is a setback, I really don't like the idea of playing him in week 1 against a ferocious Baltimore Ravens defense. That's going to be a video that I have planned within the next couple of days here. Should be up, talking about Joe Flacco starting week 1 against the Ravens. But, Zach Wilson, he's getting the surgery tomorrow. Hopefully it's nothing but great news and we can move forward from there. Now, as far as the practice goes, Dwayne Brown was there, okay? And that's really, really cool to hear because yesterday he wasn't there. He wasn't officially signed. He was getting in and then signed the contract, I believe, last night. So to see him out in the field was awesome. He wasn't in like full team drills or anything like that. He was out there. He was participating, but it looks like he's going to be in more of a conditioning style role over the next couple of days. Now, according to Rich Cimini of ESPN, today was a sloppy practice. Lawson actually rallied everybody together at the end of practice, gave an on-the-field type of speech. To be honest with you, it's not what you want to hear. Of course, we're not even 2 weeks into the preseason. There's going to be a couple down practices. This is why practices are in place, to get everybody on the same page, to build the chemistry, to get everybody right for the start of the regular season. And we factor in a bunch of different things. Guys are still getting accustomed to everything. The weather is brutal. There's a lot of stuff taking place here, but, there's been fights in, I want to say, the last 3 to 4 practices. There was another one today, and we talked about this in yesterday's video, like what's going on with all the fights. I'm all for trash talking. I'm all for, a little shoving now and then. I'm all for, a little competitive fire. I like that. I almost prefer it. I want the guys to be chippy. I want guys to be pissed off. I want guys to be passionate about this football team. That's really what I want here. Don't get bullied. Last year, the Jets were just bullied up and down the field in countless games. It was sickening to watch. And just to see, like, how specific teams played and acted towards the Jets last year, and there was no repercussions, right? I remember in that Patriots game, they were just teeing off on Zach Wilson, hitting him late, and there was just nothing being done about it. No flags. Nobody seemed to have a problem with it. It was brutal to watch. We can point to the Philadelphia Eagles game where they just didn't shake the Jets' hands at coin toss for whatever reason. It's not like the Jets and the Eagles are playing in the same division. It's not like there's any sort of bad blood. Saleh was a former coach of the Eagles. No, nothing like that. And we kept seeing small little reports like that. It was just so frustrating. It's like, why are the Jets getting kicked around? So I want there to be that competitive fire. I want there to be that sense of urgency. It's not happening anymore. We're not going to be kicked around, but I do think there's a point to that, or a tipping point rather, where there's punches being thrown. I think that goes a little too far, especially if it's with your own guys. And, Buffalo Jet Fan did a video on this. I'll leave it linked down below in the description box. He broke it down beautifully. But in my opinion, if punches are being thrown at practice, and Saleh has one main rule, you can't punch, you can't swing in practice, and it continues to happen over and over and over again, I think Kevin's right, from the channel. It's not really a rule anymore. It's just a preference. If there's not going to be any sort of disciplinary action, if a guy throws a punch, then you're done for the day. Go home, come back tomorrow. That would be some sort of repercussion, but it just doesn't really seem like there is any. The fights continue. Now, something that wasn't mentioned was if punches were thrown today. All that I could really find was just, it was just another fight That's pretty much all it was. So was there punches thrown? Was there not? I'm not sure, but the fact remains the same. There continues to be fighting at Jets camp. Another thing that's interesting to note here, no Quinnen Williams, but it did not matter for the defensive line success. Carl Lawson had a sack today. John Franklin-Meyers had a sack. Bryce Huff had 2 sacks against Joe. All 4 of those sacks came against Joe Flacco. Okay, so this is, I feel like I literally say it in every one of these practice recap videos. And what, double-edged sword here. Half of it is like awesome to hear because the defense was so bad a season ago. But then on the flip side, it's like, is the offensive line playing this poor? Is it a reflection of where the offensive line stands right now? Or is it a combination of both? How talented the defense is and how bad the offense is. It's just tough to read right now in these training camp practices. I think we'll have some more clarity on it once preseason games arrive and joint practices arrive, which start August 19th and the 20th against the Atlanta Falcons, which by the way is open to fans. And then of course we do have, I believe, the one joint practice against the Giants the following week. But the defense continues to have success. Again, I feel like I say it in every single video. Multiple sacks for this guy, 2 sacks for this guy, a would-be sack for that guy. It's happening every day here, and a part of me is starting to get a little worried about the O-line. Like, how are these guys getting in the backfield so easily, so effortlessly? Something, of course, to take into consideration. Not all of these training camp practices are padded, so it's not like the plays are going all the way to the ground. If a defensive end whips around the corner and touches the quarterback, play's done. Sometimes they won't allow the play to continue. Other times they will, right, where a quarterback might get touched, but he's allowed to, escape the pocket and, find his guy down the field, maybe an extra 1 to 2 seconds after the play. So it's all kind of up in the air. It's all how you interpret everything. But I really, again, feel like a lot is going to be shown in the preseason and in the joint practices when the Jets are actually playing against other competition. We're going up against different skill sets, going up against different coaching staffs and different systems here. It's just something new. The Jets unfortunately don't have gigantic options at the pass catching position. Kyle Pitts is humongous. Drake London is humongous. The Jets corners, the Jets secondary members don't really have an opportunity to continue to go up against guys built like that. Okay, so these joint practices are, in my opinion, are going to be huge for the individuals that just have an opportunity here to experience something new, to get a fresh look at other players here. So I really can't wait for those days. But going back to Joe Flacco, although he struggled early on with the sacks and he actually threw a dropped interception to Sauce Gardner, he bounced back at the end of practice with supposedly a really nice drive. It was a 10-play, 50-yarder. The drive was unscripted as well, which I think is important. It was capped off with a Breece Hall touchdown catch, right? 10-yard touchdown catch from Joe, which is really, really good to hear. And look, at the end of the day, I'm a believer in Joe Flacco. Is he a top 15 quarterback? No. But I do think Flacco can step in, win games, control the offense, not turn the football over. And quite frankly, I think Flacco, I'm trying to think here. I think Flacco is the best backup quarterback we've had in a really, really long time. Especially over the last couple of seasons, for sure, no doubt about it. So I'm excited for Joe Flacco. I really, really am here. When we look at the kicker position, Eddie Pinheiro was not there, did not practice today, but Greg Zuerlein, on the other hand, did go 4 for 4, so perfect on the day. And let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.